Hello friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel and welcome to the first day of Summerween. I'm so excited. I look forward to Summerween every year. If you are not familiar with this is a readathon created by Gailey Reads, where we're basically bringing the Halloween spooky vibes into the long hot days of summer. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited about my TBR. I'm so excited about having like the best reading week. Fingers crossed. And it's going to be a good time. So let's go through my TBR really quickly. I did talk about it in my July TBR, but I'll just go through them again real quick in case you didn't see that. And I've also started 2 of them already. So we can talk about that. And my Summerween shirt arrived this morning, which is perfect timing. I'm wearing my shirt from 2 years ago today. I want to read Overgrowth by Mira. This is like alien horror. Bat Eater and Other Names for Cora Zhang. I don't know what category this goes in, but I've heard really great things about it. The Babysitter Lives by Stephen Graham Jones, which I think might be slasher, but I'm not sure. The Starving Saints by Caitlin Starling, which is medieval horror with cannibalism. And then Spread Me by Sarah Gailey. This is an ARC. This doesn't come out until September, but I've read Sarah Gailey horror before and I really like their work. And then I have a nonfiction, which is Whack Job, A History of Axe Murder by Rachel McCarthy James. So these are the 2 I've started already, in case you couldn't tell. I started them this morning when I woke up, when I was having my coffee. I read the introduction of Whack Job, which was just talking about the history of the phrase axe murderer and like when it was first coined, how it's been used in pop culture, the trajectory of the axe as an important tool throughout human history, and then in like the invention of the chainsaw and just more tech tools that kind of faded it into obscurity, and like if you have who has axes now, if you're gonna have an axe. And then each chapter is gonna talk about a specific axe murderer, but in between each chapters there's like a little thing talking about like a certain type of axe. So like the very first one was the stone hand axe, which is like the very first axe, like type of axe that ancient humans developed as a tool. And so far I'm really liking it. I like the writing. I'm excited to keep going. This like is such a niche topic, but I love a nonfiction that's exploring a super niche topic. So I think I'll really like this. It's off to a good start. And then Spread Me is already making me as uncomfy as I thought it would based on the title. I really don't like this title. And I'm feeling validated now that I've read, I don't even know how many pages. How many pages have I read? 44 pages. So our main character is Kinsley, and Kinsley is a scientist, and she is not serving, makes her sound like she's been imprisoned, but she's working at this research station that's super remote in the middle of the desert, and the term to be there is 4 years. That's how long her funding is going to last. And she has a team of, I think it's 6 scientists who are working there with her. And at the very beginning, they're out in the desert and they're doing sciencey things, and they find this specimen. And so the book opens as they're bringing the specimen into their, like, this thing that they live in the desert. And there's a sandstorm or a sandstorm coming. And it's a really violent one because this is set, I think, a couple years in the future. And so the climate has gotten even more precarious than it is now. And the storms are really unpredictable and really violent. And so they're kind of racing against time. And they bring this weird specimen in and put it into their med bay. And then the crew all get sick, except for Kinsley. And so they all quarantine and isolate and do all the things. And there's been some things with ants already, and I should have clocked it before I started it, but I didn't. But Katie Robert has a blurb right at the top where she calls it a pure giddy, or they call it, is Katie Robert, I think Katie Robert uses they, them, a pure giddy delight of an erotic horror story. Y'all, I missed the erotic the first time I read the back of this. But yes, there's weird not weird. There's weird things about attraction and desire, and it's one of those things where it's like I'm horrified, kind of grossed out, and also my intrigue is piqued. I need to know. I need to know what's going to happen. I need to know how this is all going to shake out. And so I can't put it down. We'll see how this goes. But I've read Sarah Gailey before. Like I said, I know I like her writing. And we'll see how this goes. All I knew about it going in is that they find this thing in the desert and it's looking for a host. So there's that. And then before we dive into this vlog, before I end this intro, which is also already getting kind of long, let's open my Summerween shirt together. Because I'm excited. I thought the art design this year, it's always adorable, but it was like particularly adorable this year. And I put off ordering my shirt for a long time because I couldn't pick a design, which is always a good problem to have. Oh, it's so cute. Look how cute my little reading cactus ghosty is. I got pink. I try to get a different color every time. This looks big. What size did I order? Ooh, did I mean to do that? I ordered a large. I don't know if I meant to do that, but I've been kind of digging oversized shirts lately. It'll be fine. She's so cute. She's just the cutest thing. It does smell like screen printer or like whatever that like chemically smell is, so I will need to wash that before I can wear it, but that's okay. So anyways, that's my TBR. That's my merch. So excited. I am leaving the house shortly to go get my hair cut, which I'm so excited about because it's too hot to have this much hair right now. I think I'm going to break this week up into 2 different videos because it is 8 days, and I'm worried if I do an 8-day long vlog, I will lose steam and momentum with the vlogging. So I'm going to break it up into 2. So this vlog should be from today, which is Saturday, until Wednesday, like midday. So here's hoping I can at least get these 2 read plus one other thing in that time. But yeah, welcome to the vlog. So happy you're here. Okay, hair is cut and it feels so much lighter. I don't even know how many inches she cut off, but yeah, I really like it. And I got coffee and I was looking, I'm gonna turn on my car because it's hot. I was looking at myself in the mirror while she was cutting my hair, and I was trying to figure out why I looked so gosh dang tired. And my energy is still really low. I was sick last weekend, and my energy still isn't back, which really sucks. But I was trying to figure out why I look so tired because I actually got a lot of sleep last night. And I realized I didn't put on makeup today, which is fine. But I'm gonna go home and put on like a little bit of makeup, nothing crazy, just like mascara and like under eye concealer, and see if looking more awake helps me feel more awake. And also coffee helps. But I'm excited to go home. I think I'm gonna sit outside and continue to read Spread Me because I'm just absolutely riveted. I was almost late to my hair appointment because I was reading it and I lost track of time, and I need to know what is gonna happen in this, like, it's almost like a locked room situation. But we're also have a couple of different timelines going on because we have what's happening in this bunker, I don't know what it's called, but this place where they are in the desert. And then we're getting flashbacks of Kinsey meeting the different people who are in this situation with her, like meeting the different members of her team and getting to this place for the first time. And just so you're getting like her relationship with these people and their backstory and getting an idea of their bond as you're also watching everything unravel because of this like thing that's come in from the desert. It's very creepy, very weird, but I'm kind of into it. All right, it's hours later. It's like 5:30, 6 o'clock. But I have progress. I finished Spread Me by Sarah Gailey. I'm so torn on how I feel about this book. I was a little horrified by it. I mean, maybe a lot horrified by it, but also kind of loved it. I don't know. It's so queer. It's so, I don't even know. I don't even know if I can describe it. I think I really liked it. I think I really liked it. It got a response out of me, which honestly is what I'm looking for when I read, especially when I read horror. Like, if I'm picking up horror, I want to have a visceral response. And this got a visceral response out of me. I'm not going to tell you any more about the plot because really it's 208 pages. It's so short. I really liked it. I liked how Sarah Gailey weaved the story together. I liked getting the earlier timeline of Kinsey bonding with the rest of her colleagues and getting to know her colleagues. I liked like the weird fungi sexual attraction stuff. I don't know. It was interesting. I think that's what it was. It was interesting. They really went for it, you know? And I feel like so many books are so safe and predictable, and I know where it's gonna go, and I just had no idea how this was gonna shake out. And that experience was really fun. So I don't know, but I don't know that I recommend this. This is like such a specific book recommendation. This isn't going to work for everyone. It's not going to appeal to everyone. So I don't know that I would like widely recommend it, but if anything I said in talking about this book sounded like a good time, then check it out. It doesn't come out until September. I'm so sorry to tell you, but you can keep it on your radar for the next couple months. And then I'm a little over halfway through Whack Job. I went to the gym today for the first time in like 9 days, and it wasn't great. It was actually kind of horrible. My energy level was probably not high enough to justify going to the gym, but I did it, and so now I feel like the seal is broken a little bit. That's probably the wrong euphemism. I actually have like this much left because this is all like extra, like sources and stuff. So not too bad. So I'm glad I went just to like get back in the rhythm. My gym was closed for a couple of days while I wasn't going, and they got a bunch of new equipment, so that was like super fun to see all the new toys and to try some stuff out that wasn't there before. I just was like, my lung function wasn't great. I didn't do any cardio, but even just lifting weights, if I started going quickly and it was more like my heart rate went up, then like my lung function felt crappy, and my energy is still really low, but I did it. Hopefully tomorrow I feel better, and tomorrow's workout is a little bit better. But I listened to this while I was at the gym because it's on Spotify, and I'm in the process of breaking up with Spotify, but I have like 2 more weeks before my premium account is going to end, and then I figured I'll take advantage of it since I've already paid for it, and then once that expires, I'm going to click cancel my account and not use it anymore. Before I break up with Spotify, I am listening to Whack Job on there, and I really like the audiobook narrator, and I like how she's taking us through history of the acts, and you know, so we get a little chapter talking about the type of acts that she's focusing on, and then the next chapter is about murders that occurred or were undertaken using that specific type of acts, and we're just working our way through history. So I'm just finished learning about the tomahawk, and then talking about George Washington and early United States, and how the tomahawk was a symbol of peace, but then, you know, colonial settlers fucked it up for everyone. So it's really interesting. I really like it, and it's very specific. So I think if you like a really specific nonfiction so far, I would definitely recommend this one. But I do need a fiction book to read as we get into the end of the day, and I'm trying to debate what to go to next. I was thinking about maybe reading these books in order of thinnest to thickest, just to feel like I had some momentum going early on. If I'm doing a 2-parter, I don't want to bog down the second half of the vlog too much. So I'm not sure. I kind of am leaning towards The Babysitter Lives. I don't have an audiobook for this one, but it's only 200 pages. Though 200 pages of Stephen Graham Jones is a different kind of 200 pages. So I'm thinking about that. I'm also, I don't know if I want to read alien horror after having just read fungi horror. I wonder if they're going to have too much of an overlap. Or I could read, I don't know if I want to do Bad Eater yet. And that one's heavy. I don't think I'm ready for heavy. But I need to go finish making dinner and I'll make a decision, and then I'll let you know what I decided to do tomorrow. Hey friends, it's day 2 of Summerween and I have a reading update for you. I finished listening to Whack Job this morning and I'm giving it a 4. I think I liked the first part of this book a little bit more than the second part. I mean, I did enjoy all of it, but because we're going in chronological order throughout history, as we got further into the book, it started to feel more like true crime because we were bumping up into more modern day. And I'm not a true crime fan, so that was kind of hard because then it was, I don't know, it was just so much sadder to read about these murders that didn't take place that long ago. And we started to get into some heavier acts of violence, like true, like super specific acts, I'm not saying that word on purpose, of violence against neighbors, more like specific murder cases rather than moments in history. Like we did, I think, the chapters about the executioner's acts, which was Henry VIII and all of the people he had beheaded, specifically the part about Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard, I thought was really interesting because we're real big fans of the musical Six in this house, and just getting more real life information about those people I think is always interesting. And then there was a chapter about George Washington and how axes were used in early Americas, and that was interesting. And then there was a chapter about Lizzie Borden, which I didn't know a ton about, and like how twisty that case is. And then we got into, Frank Lloyd Wright, which I knew nothing about his personal life, and that was juicy. Like, I just had no idea. I had no idea. And if you have no idea either, you should definitely read this book. It was very sad, but also very interesting. And then we got into 1949 and a man who was a child predator in the neighborhood and murdered a child. And that one was really sad and upsetting. And then we got into, what's everybody's names? Candy, does it say what her last name is? But there's like a couple of movies. There's an Elizabeth Olsen movie where she plays the main character. And so that murder was probably the more gruesome. And then she wrapped it up with an epilogue just about how culturally significant the axe is in pop culture, specifically talking about The Shining and how iconic The Shining is, but how axe murder now is almost played for comedic laughs and not like the horror show that it actually is. So I think, yeah, I give this a 4. I don't know if I said that already or not. I did like it. I think this is her debut, like, nonfiction book. Be really interested to see what she writes next, but I do recommend this if you liked Lady Killers, which is about female serial killers. Like, I think this, similar vein. And then, as you saw in my B-roll, I decided to do like a try a first page of the 3 that I'm most intrigued by, and I went with The Babysitter Lives, which I'm gonna be honest, I'm 60 pages in, and the sense of dread I have while reading this book already is starting to get to me, and I had to take a break earlier. I'm so freaked out about what's gonna happen because I thought this was a slasher, and it's a haunted house story. And I don't think I've read a haunted house story from Stephen Graham Jones before, but he is nailing it. I am so unsure, unwell, unsettled by everything that is going on in this book. So at the very beginning, we're already at the house. Charlotte is there to babysit these 2 kids, and Charlotte is half indigenous. And so she's like confronting a lot of racism from these white people, a lot of microaggressions from this white family right off the bat. And she's there to babysit these two twins named Rodney and Desi. And the parents are a walking red flag. Not great, not great. And they're going through all the rules, and Charlotte is, doing all the performative things that you do to make a good impression. And she just wants to earn some money while she studies for her SATs. That's all she wants to do. And there's this incident with this creepy Jack-in-the-Box, like while the parents are still there. And then they leave and Charlotte can't find the kids. Like she cannot find them in the house. And they can't have gone past her. The door is locked. There's no way for them to like sneak out, have snuck out behind her. So she's freaking out and she finds them and they're talking about Halloween because Halloween's the next day. And they like hint that there's a hidden staircase situation in their house and that there's a gray mother in the house that only the children can see. And so I don't want to spoil too much since it's only like 200 pages, but I'm already kind of freaked out. And we're only 60 pages. So we'll see how this goes. I am nervous. I'm tempted to pick up something else just to have like a buffer book for when I get too freaked out, but I don't think anything I have left is not going to freak me out. Maybe Overgrowth I could like alternate because I do have this on audio, and Mira tends to be more slow burn horror. So I'd probably have a while before it got creepy. But this one, man, let's just say I'm glad it's the middle of the day or not even the middle of the day. I'm glad it's still the morning. And that this is a week when my husband is home and not traveling for work, because I think I'm going to get real scared reading this book. So anyways, that's the update. Do I have anything? I think the only plans today are to do some chores, read. My youngest is leaving for a trip tomorrow with their grandparents, so I need to get them all ready to go. And other than that, my plan is just to read and maybe go for a walk because I'm kind of sore from my workout yesterday. So I'm going to take it easy and have a nice leisurely Sunday. Good morning, it's day 3 of Summerween, and I just finished The Babysitter Lives. This was so stressful. I think it's probably like somewhere between a 4 and a 4.5. I did skim read some of this because the bug stuff got so gross that it was making me physically nauseous, and I had to skim read, but it might be like my second favorite Stephen Graham Jones. I was ranking them for my husband last night, and My Heart of the Chainsaw is definitely my favorite. Just like the Indian Lake trilogy in general is my favorite Stephen Graham Jones project. And then I think this might be my second favorite, like right above I Was a Teenage Slasher. So I guess I need to go and see what I gave I Was a Teenage Slasher and then like slot this in the middle, because My Heart is a Chainsaw is a 5, and I don't remember if I gave I Was a Teenage Slasher a 4, a 4.25, or 4.5. I'll have to look. But even though this was stressful and gross, I love the narrative voice. I think I like Stephen Graham Jones. This is such a weird statement to make, but I think I like Stephen Graham Jones the most when he's writing from a teen girl's perspective, because I really like Charlotte. Not as much as I love Jade, but I really like Charlotte. And his narration style just works so well for me when that's the perspective that we're in. I've realized I think the common denominator is that I don't quite click with his books where the main character is a guy. So I don't know how many other books Stephen Graham Jones has where there's a girl protagonist, but now I kind of want to, like, I wasn't going to read Killer on the Road, but this was not as fun as I wanted it to be, because it was gross and it was stressful. And this is like serial killer versus 5 teenagers, which I think might be more fun. So I won't go into it right away. I'm going to think about it, but I'm tempted to try to squeeze this one in now. Also, I have this one on audio, so it would go faster than The Babysitter Lives. I also realized I hadn't talked about the prompts for Summerween. There's like prompts for which books to read, and I don't necessarily let them dictate my TBR, but I try to incorporate them. So the first one is read a book in the dark or at night, which I always read before bed, so it is night, so that one gets fulfilled pretty easily. Number 2 is to read a horror or a thriller book. I did that with Spread Me. Number 3 is read a book with a sky on the cover, which I didn't think I had a book for, and then I realized that there is a sky behind the house in this one. It's not a very colorful sky, but it is a sky. Number 4 is read a book you've owned for more than a year. I'm not really going to be able to fulfill this one because I read my horror really fast when I bring it into the house. Like, it does not linger unread for very long. I forced myself to save some books for Summerween, knowing this was coming up. There were books I didn't read purposefully, so I can't really fulfill that one. I think I've read all the horror on my shelves except for what's in this TBR. And then number 5 is read a novella, manga, or listen to a spooky audiobook. So I guess maybe Spread Me should be used for this one since it's a novella. And then for the second prompt, like, I can slot something else in, like the next thing I read. And I did start something last night because like I could not read The Babysitter Lives before bed last night. It was too gross and too stressful. But I did start Overgrowth by Mira, and I feel like at least 20 pages in, maybe more. Oh, I read the 38 pages. Look at me. That was a lot. I like it so far. We start off meeting this little girl named Anastasia, and we see how like the family she was, sorry, camera went sideways. The family she was born into, what her childhood was like. And then when she was 3, she wanders into the woods where she's not supposed to be. And she gets lost and she finds this plant, and this plant attacks her and drains the life out of her. And then a creature who looks like Anastasia comes out of the plant and goes back home after having been missing for 3 days. And like her mother's so relieved to see her, and Anastasia, 3-year-old Anastasia, says, your daughter's dead and the aliens sent me to replace her, or something like that. And then we skip ahead a number of years, like 28 years, and Anastasia is a grown person and living in Seattle with some roommates, and we're just like getting to see what her life is like and how the alien component is going to come into it. But I really like it. I was kind of nervous about picking it up because Gabby did live reading sprints or public reading sprints yesterday, and she DNF'd this in it, saying she found the voice annoying, but I'm liking it. And maybe I shouldn't be surprised. I was a little nervous, but I also know Gabby and I have very, very different taste in books, and so most of the time when she says she doesn't like something, usually I end up liking it, or vice versa. So this is what I'm going to focus on today. We got to leave shortly to take my youngest over to the grandparents' house so that they can leave for their trip. And so I probably won't really be able to dive into this until later today, but I love how we're just rolling along. And it's Monday and I have the day off, so I get like extra reading time, which is so good. I forgot to mention, one of the things I like so much about Overgrowth and gives me such a good feeling about it is that it starts on my birthday, which is July 13th, which is at the end of this week. I feel like that's a good sign. Also, I ordered a book from Pango for my July TBR, and it's book 1 in a series where I own book 2 and 3, but I don't own book 1, which is silly. And I ordered off Pango, and it is so cute. I was not expecting goodies, so I'll show you. The seller included like a sticker and a couple of bookmarks. It was just such a nice little treat. Oh, I love this one. This one is pretty. I would 100% read there. That looks so nice. And then it's just wrapped. It's wrapped so prettily. It's such a nice, like, fun surprise when you order something from Pango and they include goodies in it. Oh, there's more inside. What else is in here? Oh my God! There's a whole bunch of stickers. Wow, these are so cute. I'm such a sticker fiend. That one's adorable. Ooh, so is this one. This one's a book. Little witchy moon situation. Hope you are on board for a sticker tour because that's what you're getting right now. And this is going to be super fun for me to edit and not annoying at all. Oh, is this my favorite? Oh, this one's so pretty. So pretty. And then this one's just entirely too relatable. All right, is that it? Okay, good. I mean, not good. I mean, that was a lovely, like, Happy Monday surprise. And then the book is The Witness for the Dead by Catherine Addison. So I'm excited to finally read this and get started on this series. I hope I like it. I really liked the writing for the Goblin Emperor, and I love the main character, Maya. Oh my gosh. Protect Maya with everything. So I'm interested to read, like, this is in the world of the Goblin Emperor, but a totally different character. I think this follows like a minor character from the Goblin Emperor. So I'll be interested to see how I like it. Oh my goodness, C.S.E. Cooney did one of the blurbs for the back. And of course she wrote like a paragraph, because of course she did. All right. Not Summerween related, but I was just so excited by all the goodies. Okay, I'm gonna go and read a little bit before we leave. Morning. I'm trying to find the lighting today. Okay, there we go. Okay, normally my living room is not this bright, but the sun's coming up from that direction, and there's a white truck parked across the street, and it's just like bouncing all the sunlight into my living room. So it's great. It's normally not this bright. I am almost 50% of the way through Overgrowth, and I am loving this so much. I'm trying to think how to talk about this and explain why I'm loving it so much. So Mira Grant is Seanan McGuire, if you don't know. This is the name she writes horror under, and I've only read one of her horror novels. I read Into the Drowning Deep. Was that for last year for Summerween, or maybe it was for my first Summerween? I can't remember. And I loved it, except for the ending. So it was like so close to being a 5, but I was so disappointed with the ending that I dropped it down to like a 4.5. And that one is like very science-based, and I think most of her horror books are science-based from what I understand, but I haven't picked up anything else, mostly because like she has like a zombie series. I don't know that I'm totally into it, and I forget what the other long-running series is, but this one, I would say at about halfway through, horror has just kind of started to kick in. It reads very like contemporary sci-fi. It's set like a little bit in the future, but not a lot. And we have Stasia is what her friends call her, who, you know, has spent her whole life since she was 3 telling everyone that she's an alien, and that someday her people will come to, or her race of aliens will come to collect her, and nobody's ever believed her. And then this message that is clearly from aliens, that has been captured by an astronomer, is leaked publicly, and now all of a sudden, like, her friends and her boyfriend are having to like grapple with the fact that she has been telling the truth all this time, and it launches Stasia kind of on like this road trip to go and listen to the raw file of the message that was picked up. So I don't know that this is going to be for everyone, because it is slow, but I'm loving it. I love Stasia, and her like best friend Mandy is just like excellent. I love her boyfriend, though he's pissing me off a little bit right now, so we'll see if I continue to love him. But I just think it's so interesting. There's a lot of like contemporary commentary on like the United States and the government and the police and immigration and trans rights, and it's very like obviously pro-immigration, pro-trans, pro like let's take care of people, and so I really like it, and I really like how the horror that is starting to be introduced isn't supernatural, it's humans. And so there's I'm feeling a real sense of dread as Stasia is encountering like law enforcement and stuff, and knowing like how easily the US government can disappear people if they choose to, that's causing the dread and the suspense rather than like this threat of alien invasion. Like the threat of the alien invasion is so far removed from like the things that I am concerned about for these characters. And I think that's like, I don't know. I'm really digging it. I'm really loving it. I think if you liked Middle Game, I think this swings closer to Middle Game for me than it does to Into the Drowning Deep, but I'm loving it. I'm also loving the audiobook, which is so nice because I have been really struggling with audiobooks lately. I either just don't have enough time to listen to them, or I just haven't been liking like the voice in my head as I'm reading just isn't matching up with the voice of the narrator. And I've been having a lot of disconnect when I listen to audiobooks where I just don't care about the story as much when I'm consuming it orally versus reading it. And that's been kind of upsetting. And it doesn't matter like what speed I listen to it on, but I'm loving this audiobook. I'm loving the audiobook narrator. I will look up her name when I'm by my phone and tell you what her name is. Kat, you are blocking my light. Can you move, please? Thank you. And because I just think she's doing such a good job. She matches so perfectly with what I think Stasia's voice is that that's what I'm hearing even when I'm reading it physically and I can't actually listen to the audiobook. But my preference is the audiobook because I'm enjoying it so much. So that's your update. Also, did I tell you that it's day 4 of Summerween? I have to go to work, sadly. My long weekend is over. And then my twins are doing some volunteer time this afternoon, so I think I'm going to bring my new chair, my new outdoor chair that I'm so excited about, and I'm going to sit at the park and read outside this afternoon while they're doing their volunteer time, and I think it'll be a perfect way to spend the afternoon. And I might continue on with this, or I might go into my library and see if they have any horror books in the new release section that I've been wanting to check out. Like I may choose Chaos and add a second book that wasn't even on my TBR into the equation. Who knows? We'll see how I feel later this afternoon. Okay, my arm's starting to shake, so I'm gonna go. Good morning. Happy day 5. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, happy day 5 of Summerween. I am 300 pages into Overgrowth. Yes, just over 300 pages. I didn't get to read as much. Yesterday we went to a birthday party at the river and that was super fun. And then I was socialized out by the time we got home. I was so tired. But I did read a little bit before my eyes gave out and we've finally gotten to the aliens. So we'll see how it goes from here, but I am going to end the vlog here because I still have 200 pages. This book is so long. I'm still really enjoying it, but there have been a couple times where I've felt like the pace stalled a little bit and before it like picked up and kept going, but I'm still really liking it. I'd be interested to see like what's going to happen now, like if the horror is going to really pick up or if it's going to continue to be kind of like a slow dread kind of horror and or like a gross out kind of horror. We'll see. Yeah, I have 200 pages left and today is my really busy work day. So I'm not going to have a ton of reading time. So I won't really have a lot to update you on. And I do not think I can finish this book today in the midst of all the other stuff going on between like my work schedule and the twins' schedule today because they both have a lot of stuff going on that they need to be taken to. Keep your eyes peeled for part 2 if you want to see what my final rating is for Overgrowth. But this was a really great start to Summerween. I'm really happy with all the reading I did this week and with the things I read. Like, really enjoyed all my Summerween books so far, which is like so nice. So nice. I needed that so much. And I'm really hopeful about the rest of the books I have in mind. We'll see if I get to the library book I grabbed yesterday, the Jennifer Thorne. I read Diavola, is that for last Summerween? Or did I just read it on my own? I don't remember. I read it last year and I loved it. Like 5-star horror. And I'm really interested to read her other one. I don't know if she has more than 2 books, but that's the other one that I've seen a lot. So I don't know if I'll get to that one. In an ideal world, I would love to. That would be amazing, but it kind of depends on how many more days it takes me to finish Overgrowth and then what I kind of feel like picking up after. I'm really gonna, I think, lean into the mood reading for the rest of the week. I have to get through today first. So anyways, that's it. Thank you so much for watching and spending your precious time with me. I hope you're having a lovely time if you're participating in Summerween and that you're reading some really good horror books. And let me know what you've been reading, if you've been participating. If you're not participating in Summerween, just let me know what you've been reading this week. And if you want to leave an emoji, so let me know you're here. I guess we'll do some sort of plant emoji. And like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Bye.